Yebo bi adwo bi akwa ba live at the Badnet 2 TV. Ebenya so say the inside Ghana at the bro. From now, ekokusi 9:30 p.m. 2 hours. Yeba be dim komo na yewura nsem na de nsem na bro live on Net 2 TV. Me dey no so Frank. Who is my friend Franco the hater. Production team medo mu nyina se ne ye atena so bia de ni input abaka kaka ene edi dwumadi no eba. Kache unya na nia so nkanche nia se Franco the hater gina konwa. Yeba be wura nsem na de nsem na e de abro. Debbie and I catch us this particular show is not biased to any political party. This show, yet Nasia, we go into the matter, setting the record straight. Ye cannot create the actual. And through your NPP ni, or your NDC ni, or your Frantonia, and your Ghana first. Obenya political party or political affiliation our Franco the hater betnaha, and some air cost for Ghana. As a Ghana 40 meter no and no in a day one sem edebrew and the catcher unia no so canching say ebenyaso say Franco the hater what na see or the inseminar eba live on Net 2 TV medi owusu at Franco bit my friend Franco the hater na ensam edoso na no the National Democratic Congress youth omukotenase omi youth manifesto ne dia by honsem te sen ye be bo we ne de nyina e dia ba Kennedy Agyapong was storming Kumasi or your campaign for the new patriotic party and for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sansem no ye be we me honsem te sen ye de nyina e ba ene so achiro okoko piema o we fe ba ya champon ne nsem a wo keka ama NDC for so responded Malik Basintali akasa sa so ena the chairman of the party or Asedun Katia ono so akasa e dia nsem ono e dia tudwa we any nsem bebre ena dia bo live on Net 2 TV. And me, I'm going to be your pilot, I'm going to be your captain, I'm going to walk you into this 2-hour journey. Na de hun seminar Eddie Abreu. And the ransom na Eddie Ensem Eddie Abreu. I'm for the sentence one. The new patriotic party goes into internal elections. No more internal elections, no. It was a straight contest between Kencity Agyapong and our friend Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Those are not candidates in the dorsum. But only the person you know for attention who almost power and in from you. And over sentence one. Time elections before the elections, during the elections, and after the elections, and some course so and you be blaming them. Amount for TV, the establishment was fighting against one person. A do baby, amount for this and normally Kencity Agyapong the poor FM no papa uncle for independent. It was a baby and normal air course no papa or on for the new patriotic party. And some course you know Kencity Agyapong the poor comes out and I say independent here a man again. A man force cause pussy obenya civil society for obenya technocrats and almost support no a whole lot of people e ka say that the honorable Ken ye person as an independent candidate yes listen no my course no na nya papa ejite ho the man still insists that there be or no Kencity Agyapong or your NPP me he still remain loyal to the new patriotic party and my son is one another Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia be PM Ashanti Region oba ye no Kencity Agyapong be kan ho e mo ye campaign ena yewa ena Kencity Agyapong ebowu Kumasi obaye on the running mate for the new patriotic party and for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia over the di ede napo ena omo ye campaign ena o makọ Konongo Central Hall o makọ Pemu Achim Central Hall Santi Achim Central Hall na other areas na mba pada bia oba pension be so ne to a o hwe TV na NPP 4 kaso benya daje tie NDC yes o kaso be yi afiri ho. One day I told him say Kofi I'm a political pundit. Say when you see bra wo politics no. So what some ba I'm going to address you as a politician because what mom say me cancer me a political pundit and normal air course a Ghana first. I tell you the reality and then me come see the truth is a better pill. Now if you can Kencity Agyapong a whole lot of issues in the course will be a Canadian. This is internal elections. If you look at even the NDC and other political parties are do internal elections, the party has played a major role in his life. Opinion and this is a man since 1992 has always shown commitment and dedication for the new patriotic party. That be 1992 or call for the elections. And that was what NPP for years for campaign or in your POM too. I'm making sure that the new patriotic party has financed them 747 pickups or their more. Kencity Agyapong has shown commitment and dedication for the party. No wonder if you look at it's loved by the people. So there's a whole lot of issues of course in this kind of internal elections. But if you're able to control 1/3 of the delegates, whereby the establishment was even fighting against you, it tells that this is a man for the people. Debianeka now one of the PMU Kumasi, unveiling or outdoor of the running mate was say MPP for no kai grassroots for no me grassroots for in daily. And if you look at Kenya compare Ken Agyapong, we pay more Ashanti region. Now if you look at elections a course on November 4th, Kenya 71,996 representing 37.41%. There be ameka me said need any organic laugh. A man from Mudinachino, they didn't ship this as a baby. He has a forgiving heart. And to know the other thing or Brahma the NPP is not breaking the 8 in terms of this kind of tell the NPP something. Obi will take emotions out. The truth is a better for young kind of crime fan. Wow, Bible. Me make cast media. Was say the same day Jesus went out to the house and sat by the lake, such large crowds gathered around him, and that he got into a boat and sat in, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in a palm fell on the rocky places where it did not much have soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. When the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they were withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew and choked in the plants. Still, other seed fell on the good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever hath ears, let them hear. And where you the parable of the sower. Monfa video when target or when. Won't tell here. At my breaking the 8. Now making sure say NPP force or many of the 85%. And was Ashanti Region. Me say I'm a strong NPP person, but that 85% it is unrealistic. And Yejuma. Yejuma said the government of the NPP when it comes to signature projects in Ashanti Region, adding if the regional minister and the cabinet minister cannot mention 5 signature projects in Ashanti Region, then they are problematic. Now, Nenta me kind parable when he say, I'm going to label Ken Agyapong to be the sower. Credit mom na egu abano. Na dia yam yanse ba bia credit egu abano dia gu nyina no enkoyie. I'm going to explain to I'm going to break it down for you. And na credit ni abre say the new patriotic party break the 8. That be an catch us if you look at Ashanti Region. Say NPP to minya nominal votes and in terms of percentage, all minya be 75, 76, 77 ekwa. Then it tells that the new patriotic party they are going to win the elections. Anytime you can win an election, it means that whereby the party and the structures are working, the party should move as a unit. And the new patriotic party, when every person will break 8, no matter the kind of differences, no matter the kind of facets, you put it aside and make sure that we have to fight for one cause. What is our cause? What are we fighting for? We are fighting for say me breaking the 8. Honorable Ken, me catch now. Baby, I will campaign Ashanti Region. No, the party they are not united. The 8. But I'm telling you today, if you look at the kind of facets and problems of what Ashanti Region, there are problems that cannot solve it. And then you have the general secretary, you have the treasurer, then you have the organizer. These are people who are duly elected. As Uncle Foreign can so much Bama Ashanti to me Kwankai. Whereby they have differences, they have to solve it. Honorable Ken Agyapong, I'm telling you today. If you go to Ashanti Region, there's a serious major in 2020. 137. You were a problem solver. Whereby the NPP wanted to get majority in power. Who now fair dancing for Mina MP, FA question to solve the problem. Extra 1.5 billion. Just to make sure that the NPP in terms of parliament becomes majority. Honorable Ken, I want to ask you one question. Agyapong Kancherewa, me Kacherewa. Bisa who say, Oko Pemo Ashanti Region. Where are the regional executives? Regional executives are they are duly elected, no? Where are they? Young Kuna require Kedia compare. We are seeing it. We are saying it. The moms are a Juma Pa, MPP, Empono, I need be crown. Oma, Edachi, who are the Shamsa, and now what you? There am robbery. One Kasa. We are you mono. Wine and the baby. The Masramo. Our family say you are seeing. Then Mom Kai who said, and Cassica cry or Botomwa. Obey the Cotia school fees. Says the Kana and not when you have found Cotia. And no, now who said, and I'm a badachi at the same. Moaka Samrantia ni mabawa mutie mujina hai. Nyablo shamse.
and then free SHS I will continue. Odachi, a betting me papa ache Ken Agyapong. Me up to me, me a mahu, and a video to what a travel set. Sir, who dare before me? Echo to a Bawumia. Ubenya, a home person. And the Muslim. The youth of this country, I urge you to vote for Dr. Bawumia. At least, I will be outcome for stability.
December 7th, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 7th December, Samutuaba Manopa, Onuna President of the Republic. Messiah, I am Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, Onuna didn't say free education, Tibia, Dibamba School for our university piano, Obapuamo, Amamosa, Akanina.
Campaign. And me as a political pundit, I always say the truth is a bitter pill. The truth always stands. Honorable Ken, Matthew, you are doing active campaign for the new patriotic party. You are telling the masses the kind of things I already find another down akufo-addo, so they should vote for the new patriotic party. Me say, if you look at the NPP in Ashanti Region, there's serious compounded friction and problem. Their factions, I want to tell you the truth. Every among country, and they are quite say what the panasi wo. Now we sense what they are good point. Now man for sense we need to go. Now if you look at the NPP in Ashanti Region, say a military and when we are subordinates, they are having a problem with the major or the captain. And if you look at Temawun Tunia, he's having a problem with the people who are duly elected as the regional executives. Honorable Ken, I want you to do your own investigations. Besides, where is the regional organizer? Francis Ademako Francois, when it comes to planning an event, he's not part of this kind of campaign. The youth organizer, who is duly elected, he's not part of this kind of campaign. Go and check the first vice, the second vice, the treasurer, the assistant secretary. They have issues with Chemawun to me. People, if you look at Ashanti Region, you are 10. 6 of them are having problem with Chemawun to me. So a house that is divided, a house of what problem? No, how can you win power? How can you win power? Because if there is no unity, an army and united, and they doesn't move as a unit, always they have friction, they have problems. How can you tell me that this is the vision and the mission statement of the NPP in Ashanti Region? Imam Fantoso, Ashanti NPP regional executives boycott campaign team inauguration. Where August 12, 2024. None one that consider chamui. NPP forces they are launching their campaign team in Ashanti Region. And conform executives are they are duly elected. Omaba catcher said they are boycotting it. Why? Say Chemawun to me or more chairman. No. When it comes to see a year, Jumana Chemawun to Juma. Let me be open. Let me tell you. Ima so many back fast so mame. Before some we camp bano. Oba kaya tam no mo sign launch campaign team somewhere in March. They wrote a petition to the national executives telling them say Ajuma na say mo nye. Just want make catch on ye. These are people who are duly elected. What say NPP Ashanti regional executives petitions parties leadership overwhelmed to miss unacceptable conduct. And you must see various kind of positions. Is a 7 to more. Now whether a do some this kind of campaign committee in Sanomano. Ask yourself who did the organization. Ideally, and can the regional organizer Francis Ademako Francois or no moment can show this kind of organizational works. Or no moment can show yes I know. In this kind of election, if you look at the voters register, about 62% of them voters register, they are youth. They are youth. And if you look at this kind of elections, the youth, they are going to play a major important role in terms of decision and policy making. The regional youth organizer, Rafael Safo Patrick, who is duly elected, it's not as I make a muntie. Or no regional youth organizer. He is not part of it. Chemawun to me is preaching reconciliation. Among for a petition, they come my MPP in paying focus. I want to know. Ask yourself, say, or more campaign team no, Nipa do send them. ni paro do sign e no de o maka ho only Francois no na shem no akore na akwa volunteers group who ba unim say Francois ya to about their money so no the original organizer e jankaba events and plan and kaye na djuma and obeti he if you look at campaign team now and kofo a omu azumi positions bebrebe these are people they are in bed with to me. I'll tell you the reality and to no kaba kwa campaign and ya bia kasa who sound so the gumi sound so the go abonten because there's no unity in the NPP in Ashanti region. I'll tell you the reality. What kind of comes Franco there and there be your ballot now and as well attack NPP. Me say the truth is a better pill. Me kind of credit actually. Janamino Kasai, if you go to where is the regional youth organizer? Where is the regional organizer? Where is the treasurer? Some names are not mutibia. Your father said the boat tabita kumi oni ampon. Almost a from most of my metronome MA program. Omuye yeno. Scancra said the more cramponi and far more. Treasure need program na say one of these basis can. Treasure only program na say why na these basis can. Omo won't more key positions no. So elections F4. I didn't take us and go for one pray for elections. People who are duly elected, they have voted them into power. They have a mandate. They have to make sure they have to break the 8. So Ebianka Ashanti region, if there is peace and unity, and the honorable Ken when you bring your campaign, catch a man for someone trouble for the new patriotic party and F, because people are going to vote for you. And I'm not the parable of the show at Chemono. Because they are say when you bring your campaign with Ashanti region, there is no unity in the party in Ashanti region. There's no unity. If nkonform akoma ko 10, emus wo ye problem solver. Mesrew. Anytime I say amodate e bia wo ye meeting, enti e bia wonte. I'm giving to lawyer amodate who is your official spokesperson to give it to you. Mesre, if you want to break the 8, solve all differences in Ashanti region before you come to Accra. Because Kennedy Diano, he goes there once in a blue moon. Say Kennedy flow that's a problem no that's what. That means adwuma na wo ye ni cost 90. Adwuma na wo ye no cost 90. One to me is creating problems in the Ashanti region. Let's tell him the reality. Let's tell him the truth. A man for your trouble, you mono. Yama kwema sa uncle for the nyajuma. Yama kwani no more person we omuntimi nye. Oh yes, it is an insult to the delegates. Delegates not just to say baby. I joined on the identity with my youth sector. I joined on the identity with my regional organizer. These are what the people are saying. Obitisa Francois was never contested in this kind of elections. It should tell you something. It should tell you that it's loved by the people. And they are just there. And your papers okay, practically they are not working. And to know who's your campaign, but you don't see the regional executives. And they should even be the Massa, the army, whereby they move as a unit and making sure say, or make my baby. NPP first, almost more elephant, no matter no sorry, or more senior elephant for no quarter in the region. Almost senior elephants, no, they are asleep. And we must say, if you look at Kennedy compare with Japan, oh yeah, dear, oh yeah, campaign, but when you're the parable of the sower, honorable, what you can create. You are able to look straight into the eyes of the NPP and the NDC and you tell them the reality. You tell them the truth. What's a Ghana first? Bisa unya ye furniture ma won to me say. E dey bent that the regional executives are not part of the campaign at Ekoso. Let me explain to you. Let him explain to you. Now no regional organizers across when you can so mo ye program bi kura. Regional youth organizers wo nim empayifo ejina kwa ya to obade yi omo so mo nim. And you see that they are ultimate responsibility lies at the doorstep of the leader. Your mama, no nyedmo Greeko, no nyedmo Nedco, no nyedmo ECG. You do not any about John Dramani Mamadi. Do you know why? Because he makes this kind of appointment. And Kachema won't to me, no matter the kind of differences, they come Adrian me, can the only answer make my break the 8. And come on for differences in your chain. You break the 8, who break 8 in New Year. In terms of your CV, your concomitant term as you fair. The first summer in Ashanti region to break the 8, it is an unprecedented record. Omu almost makoti reconciliation committee. Reconciliation committee no makwa no. Wete tesram onti ho asem bi. Honorable Ken, as a political pundit, I'm telling you, ubetima kwa the person who ye bia. Ubetima kwa campaign vigorously be bia so for bia. Ubekwa ye. If the party is not united in Ashanti region, you are fighting a losing battle. I'm telling you. Ehwono se enkoya. Because Ashanti region is NPP vote me when any votes percentage in terms of 75-76, it means that they are going. But the truth is a better pay who compare Ashanti region where they have issues. In terms of honorable Mr. Chairman, want to me say, where are his regional executives? Why are they not playing active roles in the campaign? There's a problem. To man fix a problem now. Say ya be call. You remember I was there to then NPP goes back to opposition. And Mestre honorable Ken. Mestre lawyer modate. Ima muncha na mon fansa ne no. Na mon kancha ne se meme say. Honorable Ken campaign away na yepa. Nemom the kind of problems that Ashanti Region no. So honorable Ken man solve this kind of problems are. They are just doing a course 90 work. I'm telling you. Because if you look at fixing the problems, if you have a regional youth organizer, a constituency youth organizer in national say, task conferring national say, he control the base. Tell you he control the base. Only the packet know how you deal with the person. Even if you have issues with the person, even if you have problems with the person, deal it in a nice way. There be a cast and back on. Now we are other topics. Me say, obi betimi catch you say di machimi yanko heaven. Obekasa wonko. Obekasa say di machimi yanko bunsem jam. Obekasa obeko. It depends on how the person communicates to you. The demeanor, the posture, the attitude, and then no more obey. But if you look at the course of Ashanti Region, you just tickle yourself and laugh. The day of elections, less than 4 months, it is coming. The kind of votes amobe number momo. In 2016, munya 76.77. In 2020, munya 71%. More lose 5%. If the party is not united, when the bomb was 65 no cry info analytics, the mamono. Now number 50%. The truth is a better pill. Makawie, onabo canesrel, one kasashim. You are a problem solver. So what means solve a problem we are is going to help the new patriotic party. I'm waiting for Montuma pa Edifra. Life. What I saw Shami on Net 2 TV. Way inside Ghana. Madika catch was there. Issues near they brought one after the other. Yeah, say ABR. We believe in this political party. We believe in this kind of agenda. There be. Yet Nasia, we speak and we make sure say the ordinary Ghanaian. Normal air cost was so ultimately as ye come and intimate as ye. Kathem clothing. Osha said the message address me kama ya kono krakeke. Ebia uko ye uko party bi uko jumadi bi o patade kama dia shabo line mo biakas Jack Ohwaye family so enwa ene Kathem clothing uko piemo ho obane be ma ye be pamo de ma yes ofie party asi ofie uko adore uko engagement bia ko piemo ho omanu mbo so fo uko a wo se Franco ne se bra unya kai ni pamakas Franco ne ka se bra de a ene obete bo ne so de ma ye number is 0597 394-677 0597-394-677 Siasi eho ena yewo nano the National Democratic Congress omoko ko share the youth any youth need nkomo now issues are started popular utie the NDC under John Dramani Mahama in their youth manifesto omo say nyankopon ya nase to aba e de mo a 1100 free entry school fees no omo ankasa befa and one some to say, young conquer John Dramani Mama, and somebody to you be ransom.
Tertiary students face financial barriers with over 40% struggling to afford education and accommodation. And as I recently announced during a visit to the University of Ghana, my government will partner with the private sector to demarcate a portion of the vast tracts of land that the universities are holding to construct hostels for students on campus at reasonable rates. And thereby address the accommodation challenges that students are facing. The professional institutions of architects and engineers will be engaged to provide uniform designs for these hostels and a costing of the hostels that will be built on all campuses. And that will be under our program of a bed for all students to be able to stay on campus. We'll also launch the No Fee Stress Initiative, providing fee-paying support to eligible students, especially through the Student Loan Trust Fund. The reintroduction of a quota system has reduced admissions across both nursing and teacher training sectors, restricting entry for many youth who desire to train as teachers and nurses. We deplore the akufo-addo Bawumia administration's practice of opening the recruitment portal only when elections are coming. We will implement a policy of continuous recruitment of teachers and nurses, especially for the underserved areas.
Former President John Dramani Mahama on Ghana for aiding Komo church in Semu Eritrea. Now, if you listen to him, this is a manifesto committee, and this is the youth manifesto. Then I have to go into the manifesto. Say a manifesto is also a written of the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer, be an individual, a group, or political party, or a government. Now, okay, we are going for a short commercial break. Young Komra. Yes, the former president, Oranidini John Dramani Mahama, or say Nyankopon Adnas or mobile into power, they are going to make sure, say, free entry, the bar for the first years and our freshers and our level 100. Now, if you look at the National Democratic Congress, if you look at now, the kind of youth that they are having, young guys, when it comes to communication, never underestimate them. When it comes to communication, see, communication. These are young guys. And if you look at the way they do their brainstorming, always I dove my heart for them. Obenyo be say Malik Basintali wo, obenyo be say Samija Mfimo, obenyo be say Erika Jemo, obenyo be say Dominic Etiamo, Asefo Jemo, Fred Agbonyomo, Edemo. These are young guys. Tamakule Kujimo. These are young guys. Anytime they get the opportunity, debater, you see them say they are doing constructive debate. Very, very constructive. They are punching loop and potholes. Anytime they are attacking the government or going over the new patriotic party policies, look at the way they are able to expose the new patriotic party. So if you look at this kind of young guys, all your NPP communicator now, that's one prepare here. These guys will be going more. But I have one major problem with the NDC. I have one major problem. Now, if you look at the NDC, among kasa programs, any policies from person mo de bano, e do ho so mo church asenu mu a na mo aye den dia mo, I don't get it. Among kasa their programs, their policies from person mo de bano. So mo de baba be church mama Ghana for tinya ase, and for Ghanaians to buy into it, aya adding. Now no me catch am say Ghana, your population now. If you look at 2024, you see I grow by 1.9%. Now, if you look at Ghana's population, 34,505,215. Now, if you look at this number, about 62% to 70% of them are youth. About 62 to 70% are youth. So, going for this kind of elections, the youth are going to play a major integral role in terms of decision making. And policy now, and so making sure that if a youth you are able to explain and explain it well. Now we share program maybe it was colorful. Or so much see your no man no ya kono na e konkan. But one person came on board and did the Kwado Sheldon. Was say he contacted and they told him to come to the program. Na so ba or no question person be so mama misa. They are going to scratch it for him to go and ask Ore friend John Dramani Mahama. And I'm going to choose my words carefully. I'm going to choose my words carefully. And I'm going to use a conditional statement. If it is true, the NDC or my nyadi. The conditional statement. If it is true, NDC for my nyadi. Anytime so my nyadi and say, most more for you to my youtuber. They should come and pour their challenges and their problems to the already and John Dramani Mahama. Problem be a John Dramani Mahama should give them answers, solutions as a leader. And it's a meme ba. No from say Franco, we have contacted you. You person ba. Na say ba be do na man pen paper so what clear questions say be John Dramani Mahama. Na just one kata the marking scheme never. And if it is true, and them say a conditional statement, best name nyanya evidence biya. I say the show they can no credit. And my send this for so about Bonchabe Casa they debunking the story and no credit sano mano. And the message I deal with this to come clear. Never you call for this kind of debate engagement, they say they want the youth to see the kind of challenge and the problems that they are going through. They want the leaders to assure them, give them pledges and promises, and say this kind of problems we are going to eradicate for you. And won't trouble for my. Now, if you look at the NDC on this particular subject, this kind of policy, and the NDC almost say a free tertiary, yes, about making sure say level 100 for a university in Sanomano, you have a 2 school fees and money Sanomano. There have been a contradicting statement by the NDC. NDC name, leading the NDC. They've been contradicting statements by them, and that is my problem with the NDC. 24-hour economy, a program and policy. NDC for labor. Obi a church them say do city ase. Ebi say ba be yenjata, ebi say ba be ton wache, ebi say ba be world the adwuma najo, ebi say kwa for security. A whole lot become a problem. Me say 24-hour economy no. Nipa wa chire mu yemama tia say ye pa erikopoku. Ne calmness kwa fast wo church them in them knowledge or 24-hour economy about agri sector. As a doma make on na net wo. Wa church ma mati ade na say. Now if you look at the NDC free entry here mo kan wansem here. The National Youth Organizer for the NDC, the office is saying a different thing. The Communication Director for the NDC, who is the official mouthpiece of the NDC, is saying a different thing. Dr. Clement Apak, air cast and fofro, or when the Edo to Kono, air cast and fofro. Contradicting statements, where the number. That they may catch us in terms of politics, in terms of party politics. If you don't have one common language, you Opros and Windows and they are going to make sure say free tertiary no all universities in Ghana all public universities on my between fees for level 100 if I talk PTA. This is Sami Jamfi Asama Oka. Now Sami Jamfi, and I'm going to quote him over here. Sami Jamfi Asama Oka no was say NDC nyanko pon ya amadum na so mobile power. They are going to make sure say saade no ebe ya adwuma me pa talk PTA mi biem oka sa asemi wie ye no. And already Dindi Pablo, who is the National Youth Organizer in the office, and at this kind of manifesto, the National Youth Organizer. Also, by the catch there, say the technical universities are not part. Sami Jamfi say all universities, meaning say technical universities are part. In 2016, John Dramani Mahama and the elevated polytechnics to become technical universities. Tama John Mahama AFI office no. Na 8 universities and I graduate to technical universities. Na katu. Now what's here Pabula, who is the National Youth Organizer of the NDC? Was say enkahu. Temibiem. Was say technical universities no enkahu. Sa so na Sami Jamfi, who is the official mouthpiece of the NDC or Kasa for the NDC. We say technical universities ne kan. Why dey yemfa? Why dey na yemfa? And besin a whole lot of issues. O tu kona so be catch say ade ne kwan ye dey mo say as loan o me say baba betua. Clement Apak so be catch say it cut across all universities. Cheribiem it cut across all universities. Me pacho me person no me ye intellectual analysis bi wa. Join me. Let's do some intellectual analysis. Ebi ewa. Now, if you look at the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, as some more can, manya daje, as private universities in Ghana, any public universities in Ghana, then a born will go girl no. If I'm going by what Google told me, in Ghana, public universities, I am maku 25. Temibiem, I am maku 25. Private universities, I am maku 58. Okani inaboma. Among 83 public and private universities. See, 83 public and private universities. For pen, no paper, for calculator, yanyadi. For about 25 divided by 83, multiplied by 100, about 30%. It means say public universities are Ghana no, 30%. The private universities are 70%. None other. John Dramani Mahama say, Oba free senior high school won't come. He's going to review it. Upon revision, no. John Dramani Mahama, the former president, he catch there say, Oba is turning to private schools. Private schools. Now, let's go into the Constitution of Ghana. Article 17 was say equality and freedom from discrimination. Asama make a mountain here. Was equality and freedom from discrimination. Article 17. Ghana 1992 constitution of 1992 TNBM. Was say in the constitution no discrimination. All persons shall one can well. And in terms of the constitution per law, your casa sala a mandatory. And to say all persons shall be equal before the law. Minute me bo NPP for abaso so my idea. So me free senior high school but I have a problem with it. Per what the constitution is telling us, it means that the NPP has done discrimination. What the constitution is saying, because what now in private schools, because a taxpayers' money, and it be a free senior high school, and the debate that me tax. Now me band me public school, now private school they make kwa a public sector me tax, or be informal sector won't tax when the person is enjoying. Now, if you look at 2, or say, all persons shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, on race, on color, ethnic, origin, religion, greed, or social or economic status. This is the economic status. What say? You know who can say, yes, sister no mum, ye casa jando, if infante, Franco Fribono, Tisade, Debbie. Yet now Ghana for. Let's deal with the matter. And you tell the John Dramani Mama Mokanya. 1. Let's go back to the constitution again. Chapter 6 of the 1992 constitution. Or say, the directive principle of state policy. Chapter 34. Maybe can't get the or say, the directive principle of state policy contained in the chapter shall guide all citizens, parliament, the president, the judiciary, the council of state, or any other law, and in taking and implementation any policy decision for establishment of a just and free society. Underline word, a just and free society. And it said the way benyano ese minyabi. Do be benyano ese minyabi. I want to get it. If you nyabre pa say, yes, I say the free tertiary deba. Adena John Daman Mama can I don't have any problem with it. Makana Mesa Kabiem say, these 2024 elections, both the NPP and the NDC near Franto, won't mean a car someone find saying can't just what policy be the and two coffees adabi. We are going to probe it. We are going to ask questions, and we are going to make sure say whether it is realistic or it is unrealistic. And it's John Dramani Mama, not some walking. It means that if the president of your friend say NDC John Mama or Bar, son no way no person. 1. Are we doing discrimination or what? Yes, equality before the law. Makandi achrew say when it comes to discrimination, Article 17, asama wakan. Now, secondly, if you look at private universities, omo do also in public universities. Say ye free. Now say John Daman Mama Katre say oba free senior high school don't call private. Why is he running away from say on for public universities also call private? Equality before the law. And it's when you have this person who has had your way. It's what me way the way. Now, young had your way so. John Daman Mama told us say, only use 2 billion. And funding them from free senior high school. Today I want to know. A yes cast fund and yes saying, don't send you the baby room. And yente John Daman Mama and small cover free senior high home.
The government has budgeted 2 billion cities for free SHS for this academic year. If you have 2 billion more to spend on education, will you spend all of it on free SHS so that
John Mama so oba I didn't know person. Now mekan Messia Kabim, this 2024 elections, we are not going to attack personalities, we are going to attack the subject matter. Assembly of the Caribbean will go into it. Naima, if you look at the NDC, Marika can say, Sami Jamfin to me church I didn't ye. Ima for Pablo Dianmame. Opare, who is a national youth organizer of the NDC, was say technical universities. TMBM was say technical universities are not part. I didn't share any you. Asano ye. Let's deal with the subject matter. Okay, Ima, yente NDC ni trying to explain the free tertiary. Yente is what it
a question where will be there, Bantana, my Mediacosadato. Nanaya, ask Chairman Bismarck for me. For free SHS, they say that it should not be wholesale because some people can afford. Now that they are promising free academic fee, is it going to be wholesale? And if yes, is it because at the university level, people cannot afford any longer?
Nana, I mentioned, say, is going to be targeted at the vulnerable.
So everybody.
NDC.
So, it means that.
Nana, one message.
More corruption.
Obiko private university.
But you have
academic research.
No, you can do
that is why private school. But those who are in public.
But even before that,
those who are in public
say some more free SHS, more the private school back on.
Fair.
So why is this different?
No, that has not mean say here the private school. Yabama free senior higher. That has not mean say university. We are targeting public universities. And that is the understanding.
Okay, so the question is that the public universities in the Bay free amobia.
First, yes.
And then you who say and then based on need assessment.
First, yes.
Another way, academic fee. Level 100, Otua 4,328.
Now their own policy I saw much no. They cannot even address their own policy. Now buy for 8 years and we are here. And we are here because we have challenges and problems. The NDC more come now for the alternative is scary. Starting from the 24-hour economy now one can someone dear more can and it tells us that it is problematic. A problem. They should tell us the kind of funding. Come first one and want them to say, or we have level 100 or level 200 and want them to say, and Mr. Mentadian, say, they should explain it to the ordinary Ghanaian well. Because the private or public for no more universities, they are all Ghanaians. But they can't catch us Article 17. Ghana's constitution will catch us say, we should not do discrimination. We say we should not do discrimination. For this, when you are doing discrimination, may say NPP fire there's somebody free senior high school about that issue have a problem with it. What mean can the public schools in private school you have to extend to them. John Doman Mama saw by you extend it to the private. And the church of discrimination we know when you are also Arabia universities ni free no. You are saying yourself what they call come public. Public ne crampo no. One kasa one call for come church asem. The youth organizer money officer yes our program where catch they say if they come to power technical universities are not part. Ima pena fato so mami. Opare was say omoba the technical universities they are not part. Samija and Futuson communication director, who is the official mouthpiece of the NDC, so the catcher say, omoba technical universities are part. Clement are part of the catcher, and that's no. Technical university students will not benefit from free, no fee stress program of Opare. Ono na youth organizer, any office, any yes adien, the office, any yes adien. Now it has become problematic. Omunti mintim. Imafa are you so the anetoso, Samija and Fi. Samija and Fi so catch us omoba. When it comes to technical for now, omoba be jomatum. Terebiem omo policy. They are even fighting against their own policy. Ya anytime a mama di policy bebe bia ne microphone ntimi nkyerechire mu. So on church omo yo, say there you I don't get it. I don't get it. Here Samija for say Samija and Fi disclose that the free tertiary education of the NDC will cover all students in the tertiary institution of learning. That's colleges of education, nursing training colleges, and the universities. Sami Janfi na eka asem we Mr. Book no lie. Sami Janfi na eka asem we di kire. Sami Janfi ka wie ye no. Are you serious? I want to ask a very simple question. Is it a manifesto or a propaganda? ABNPP for the free senior higher bar. In Jamaica and the NDC for special almost the free tertiary bar. Debia Jomama mekai. Your mama catches when it gets to election year. You did throw kakra the senokre. San okay. This time round, is it propaganda? Is it achievable? Messi adebia mbeka some men will come bia NPP, NDC, and political parties. We will probe you. We will go into it. Ghanaians are becoming the same. first na mo cabo for Kencity hwehuna ye ente he na mo bi ani so ye to ho hemo. This time round we will go into the matter. We will ask you questions. Kwame so afa bet my sade no. Any say ko fasa asem odi ba na dani nsem bebre. The NDC so mo ba bonti the policy aba. Omo ntena se they should discuss it, rehearse it, calculate well rehearse, plan. You come and execute it. Wait any 1 week we didn't nam ha. E beje na manfo nka say the alternative is scary. Imama me Asamoah video no. Baby Jet Asamoah wakasa na yentie nsem Asamoah di tuja. Asamoah akasa na omesane so na anu ada. The new patriotic party koko piemu ewo yi efense okuapem ho. Ho na Samia Okuwo no. And Samia Okuwo wants to become the parliamentary he's not a parliamentary candidate and he wants to become the parliamentarian. The ma and say for yes. Ima mami video na men kasa mfanche NPP for mami video no.
Me kasa yentia. Je me kan le say me de me gira o ma youth no. Anopay my name vice president etio and I be bisa ni say there no ma youth no. 101 we there I say me boss na me beka na me no 101 and I'm bisa ni say there no ma youth no. And I'll catch them and say, oh no dear, ni focus on youth. And I'm catch them and say, me tell my youth there. On boy youth to the mommy. On boy youth to the mommy. Na bibia wano. Eti there. Adi awaya mami personally, you know. Waseme nyimonyam. Ama matia Manifesto committee. I ebe boa youth and sports of Ghana. Eti no. Why be mami a? Me sure say the water tell me say obeyama youth no. Obeyama mo. Eti no 7 December there. Me jama mo. Mo ama say eti no. Youth. As usual me jama mo eti no 7 December. All right, so that's all here live on 2 TV program you did at the Inside Ghana. Me didn't also Frank, who is my friend Franco the hater. He runs same we don't belong to any political party. He neutral ha. We go into the matter, we explain it to you. You're buff my breaking it down. I'm a seven nipane can what you assembly say. Madika Kato say Yanko Ponya Adoma on the 7th of December. Ye kwa twaba. You make some what might take a decision that will help you. Politicians, yenti about the more money say they have to think about our welfare. We don't bring them into power to come and re-echo our problems to us. We tell them say yenti twaba and say be problem solvers. Ti Asamoah na sama worker. Babyat Asamoah say okoko sha Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. No ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia edi nkomo no. E na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia obi sa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say e de no wodi ma youth no. E na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say obo no ma bebre di ma youth no no Asamoah ya hye na munyam. E di say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hye na munyam no sa pepepe no giri say obehye Ghana fo ni munyam. De di kan wo ye NPP na say wutemi a take emotions out. I'm repeating it again. Wo ye NPP na say wutemi a take emotions out. Let's deal with the subject matter. Asemna Asamoah kan no. Say na artist asemna say. De di kan nipa recommend Asamoah and the new patriotic party. Say Asamoah should be a leading member of the new patriotic party in terms of this campaign. Has done a great disservice to the new patriotic party Bamunim. A great disservice, and I'm going to tell you. Now if you look at Asamoah person what say when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia di nkomo no na obisa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say e dey Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia betima ye e dey aboard the Ghanaian youth. But if you look at this kind of elections the youth plays a major important and integral role because Ghana youth need also. And lot of Ghanaians youth they are going through problems. Makatso say under John Dramani Mahama unemployment was 8.2 and akufo-addo 14.7 factual no kre. Otu ya NPP ni ma bu mfu sa na senate 14.7. Me no can say no ntiase. Close to 7.5 to 8 million Ghanaians are not working. Emuno about 70% of them are youth. And the youth no do go na nya adwuma ye. Na me catch yourself. Ucha boys ma akoma 10. Na age omo phone na emu na yes sports betting. And bra ajando bra kwasi me say na I was surprised. Me share baby jo baby phone. Na betting app also. Me bisa answer do say Ghana ye den. I'm telling you today. Don't joke with it. Also ni adwuma bia ye. And who tia Asamoah critically Asamoah person say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia NPP ahye na munyam. And it's no meet master youth na munyam. One phone bia boss ade we.
Asamoah appointed as the head of the Manifesto Committee of the NPP for Youth and Sports. Momo. Mese Momo. Yima fato sumami. Asamoah, thank you. Youth and Sports Committee. Asamoah na yeche. Mrs. Akosua Manu ye coach. Professor Sami Bonsu. Mr. Tamimu Abu. Honorable Isaac Asiama. Mr. Salam Mustafa. Mr. Kujofianu. Mr. Sed Pound. Osei Asibe Anchi. Professor Peter Chumasi. Mr. Kinsla Henkra. Mr. Atik Yakubu. Mrs. Gift Owari Mensa. Ajaya Unisia. Mr. Franklin Jonas. Mr. Charles Osei Asibe. Mr. Kofi Agyapong. Pius Enam Hajide. Advisor no the sports minister Mustafa Yusuf. Or no advisor. Now, say a manifesto. And I'm going to repeat it for you. The meaning of manifesto. Or say, a manifesto is also a written of intentions. A written of intentions, motives, or views of the issuer, be on it an individual, group, political party, or government. As Asamoah, ya body this on no never be sports committee, no, youth and sports committee, no, manifesto never be chairman. Omo bo Asamoah di no. Asamoah never accepted the position under duress. Chenibiem willingly in Asamoah nji position itu no. Yamfa tu ankosi Asamoah nso. Yamfa se ken kwankosi Asamoah nso. Ti Asamoah nso sit no ma ase no. In Asamoah nji tu mu so person no ba be leader. Now say case manifesto the promises and the pledges. A person wo ba ban mu a ye gira so de to aba de ma. Enti akwa se wakwa kosia oba. Na wo no oba ni di nkomo na wo promise and pledge ni enti so otimi ti ase de ma. So the ordinary Ghanaian here becomes the lady. MPP for the political parties the manifesto ban e dane mema no. Then they are going to tell Ghanaians say vote for us. Go into our manifesto, read them, and make sure that you take a concrete decisions. Now Asamoah on the head of the NPP Manifesto Committee of Youth and Sports. One, this is a committee. Meaning said they go for meetings. Meaning said they go for meetings. Asamoah was appointed somewhere in February. In the boss Asamoah in March, April, May, June, July, August. So if you look at Asamoah, he has been the chairman of the Manifesto Committee for 6 months. I want to ask a very simple question. And Asamoah omo nko meeting ana. Omo nko meeting. And omo ko meeting a do mo kan won tiase. And omo ko meeting e bia no wada. Because Asamoah is green in Ghana politics. Yen kan okre. Asamoah is a technocrat. Never a technocrat. They say, ono born or boy is a technical person. Ghana penny their youth and sports. Now attention is more on the sport than the youth. But here if you say a youth and sports. And now if you look at this kind of committee, in every part of the world, see a setting up committee, you will give you your scope of work. Your recommendations and findings. The kind of challenges. And another time Mahmoud Bawumia, or call your cocoa PM, ewa Kwapim Hono. And yet Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mum, and there's one to be connected with Pastor Nature Rare and Asamoah. Because Asamoah is the chairman of the Manifesto Committee on Youth and Sports. One, you should be able to identify the needs, the problems, and the challenges that echo for the youth and sports. And the committee matinasi, ma brainstorming, ma kwebia across the length and breadth of Ghana, geographical hemisphere muchini, ebia ma yemo sampling, ma yemo research. These are the present needs of Ghanaian youth. Youth phone here way, omu here way, omu here nyuma, omu here way, omu here way. Mu bia no ma kunche ni na dia gu krata so. No ma kwa share flag band, no ma chire mu dia chire flag bands yiwura. Asem we ni pese okoka. Now ti Asamoah critically. Asamoah so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia di nkomo no. And na wobisa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, "Edie no woma youth no. Aba Asamoah. Asamoah wo waduma ne say, e say o catch Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, ye koye meeting koye we no. Work na ye koye ndo do na ye youth. And ye sadia, these are our findings and recommendations. These are our problems. No matter when ye come, and it's no man ye come ni die. Ye person you want to address the issue one after the other. Oh the far, we can catch the youth. Simple. Because what I'm say, as a manifesto committee, Asamoah named Youth and Sports led on MPP's manifesto subcommittee 21st of February 2024. Now about 10:22 p.m. Asamoah may say it wasn't under duress. Asamoah na nejitu muse. He's going to be the chairman. So meaning says he come meeting ya. Now, the secretary taking minister, the chairman is privy to everything. And to meet no more for the past 6 months. No, what are they discussing over there? And then no can them. What are the problems, the needs, the challenges Ghana youth to go through? Now, what's someone that was here already did Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? I told me, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said, these are the kind of problems that the youth are going through. Youth problems in here. And me as someone that manifesto committee now. Yeah, we've able to identify the challenges and the problems of the youth, address them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to make sure say or make Matia say we are going to convince and confuse them. Yeah, convince someone to about for the new patriotic party. Yeah, confuse someone to about for any political party because any bar a chairman and my NPP manifesto committee. Jesus Christ. I someone let me check Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Baby so to me for roadmap, ni baby so to me for winning the house of Ghanaian youth. To muno. Nipa no ya chairman no say kwa judge nkyere e de afi nipa no no tiri adwuma na ma no. Se ne tie ye adwuma yi. Na lawyer mo date. Ene bia ma Stella say Franco ye de adwuma bi ahya won say ye adwuma we koye this kind of committee, koye adwuma we fama ye. Na ma se akọ mo nkyere so mo nsan ma me adwentwa ma me fanya committee. It tells you I'm incompetent. It tells you I'm incompetent. And that is the truth. The truth is a better pill. Because as a Mojan, none can someone let me check Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, look at what is happening. Nipana employer alpha employee no. Just employer no moment then again chire balance employee net me ye adwuma. Hey, manifesto emu committee and amoye. 6 months amu meeting. What are you discussing? Input be na modeba, findings and recommendations be na modeba, challenges be na mohu, then solutions na modeba. Okoka obi be catch us we peeved we are disgruntled na da bia wo ba inside say e bia be project we no me nya sankofo no. I will tell you the truth always stand. Ima John Dramani Mahama and the NDC so mo ba say adwuma ba ko Ghana youth ni ye betting o mo ba 10% no on be yi afiri wo ima e ho ama menteni nwura nsem no enti no John Dramani Mahama o share youth no youth ni bisa say oh mira say dia ba ko higher ne say adwuma ni Ghana unemployment is 14.7 and the biggest congregation is sports betting and may twabi impayfo twabi me say so for batia sorry dem na ne papa preach na aka one match no adi 2000 Ghana says ya bomb match in 89 oh here one goal 90 plus 1 na go aba no atem wa sorry na ne papa kura musu twa bet. So the biggest congregation is sports betting. Now if you listen to John Dramani Mahama or say nyankopon ya adom na so ba that 10% on sports betting tax no ono John Dramani Mahama ba obeyi dia firi ho asamwe mo ma men kan kire mo hwe if you look at the Ghanaian youth ma men kan asam kire mo the politicians have made so this kind of elections ayeko we economy other sectors ni free wa elections ni gina mo so and assembly o meka mo mabom trinko bi o meka ama mabom trinko. I want you to listen critically because utie owura di eri John Dramani Mahama o say obaba be yidi afiri ho a make sure say sa no man Ghana for betimi ato mekai ima fato so I will offend Sami Jamfi enya video nimpo Sami Jamfi catch say 10% of sports betting the NPP government is cruel. Say case will be a cruel, the person is insensitive. Nipa no mini pa ho nipa dwemboni ne kita no as idea be ye be benefit no kwa no or you selfish ene man de buy. Mekai at that material moment the new patriotic party told us say they want to discourage Ghanaian youth from doing betting. Say me bien I'm say Ghana for youth no mum page some of them are lazy and for them to discourage them they are going to make sure say sports betting no yeah the tax never to so it will discourage a lot of people. Sami Jamfi catch there say MPP government is insensitive. Omi cruel. Na nyankopon ya adom na so mo ba power. They are going to make sure say sa 10% no ombe yi dia firi ho. Sami Jamfi yentie Sami Jamfi o ka sa asem wie no. On asempa tama mo ya sports. O mo first Sami Jamfi about sports betting. Tie de Sami Jamfi na kasa kan e fa sports betting. Tie.
The fund will have board of trustees. Just in Penifua or Mobe share that photo or so. Not at Biano. In fact, and young people, Ghana, yebe introduce levy and your tax we are looking at something like betting, sports betting. Levy ban yebe media to sports betting. So they said you UK for year to fund Olympics. How can we put a levy on betting and generate revenue? I better for sports development fund. Apart from a bayankasa, NDC cabeto AC fund, a better sports development fund. Now a BM, so sources of funding here levy on betting, a bayankasa contribution of money, and a donation from corporate Ghana. Any Ghanaians company beer ode contribution a better sports development fund. They said your COVID-19 by a COVID fund. Emma agencies MT and Mayuku Akodo a donation. We so you be a campaign. Nas Muso Mabwaye Sadek Adams or sports journalists Mabwaye to get people to donate into the sports development fund. Or what they donate the you be mouth tax incentive. I just say a toy what the Utiama or buying. Mahama buying because you have supported sports development, you better a tour now. It wasn't with you and so now was in business. Now you see, you can't better sports development anymore. And you Ghana football kwan ye de babeboa. Ye de beboa in Teko, ye de beboa Division 2, Division 1, Premier League, ye de beboa Emma football, hockey, Omo Mika, and all the other sports. Fraternities, you the Bible boa or more now, or more sports activities, no akoso. Now, the head depa woman say, or more mobile football, a Ghana Premier League. Team have qualified by Ghana Premier League, Diana. What we apply, say, Minisika, Militia, players, if you sports development fund, who use CK, and the boy and the players, yes, I will apply between 1,000 Ghana to 1,500 Ghana. Now
and this is the official mouthpiece of the National Democratic Congress. Ora friend is Sami Jamfi. And an answer or the tuja or saying Yanko Ponya Duma. If the NDC comes to power, San Womano, I tax on the sports betting, that 10%, they are going to make sure, say, they are going to be levies on sports betting. The same Sami Jamfi say catch say. Say Yanko Ponya Duma. Na so moba. That sports betting 10% ne was no. So double standard. As some more can I have issues with it. John Dramani Mama, they are always creating problem for this particular man. Why should Sami Jamfi jump before the gun? Who is a spokesperson for an institution, a corporate setting, sir? You don't have an individual opinion. Only individual view. I want to set an example for you. I'm the special assistant for Dr. James Kwesiapia. Adebia Mekabia represent the views of Dr. James Kwesiapia. So, 10% on sports betting, the NPP government is insensitive, cruel, the same Sabija views almost sign bar. They are going to put levies on sports betting. Why dear Namimfa? Why dear Namimfa? John Dramani Mama, Nenya break person about power, or cast man and call for any busy basadia man. Mama is saying, what's her? Imposing a 10% tax 17-2023. Sami Jamfio was say, and what seen it video now was say, or mobile they are going to put levies on tax. Say you to know, or man said this kind of election say Dinamoso, and he was said here, Obiabe said here. And if you look at what the NDC is saying now, are problematic. Because so to about the manner, ask yourself, says I do bet me, and that's what me. Ima, Mama MPP for so dear. For over a thing or say Cheme Sabos with Toso, and I want to tell you something. Or say Cheme Sabos is Wakasa at the first sports betting home. Tie the Odituja.
Baby, come do it. And it's 7 periods. One here, they be me. I'm the same way. Omusha say me Bahama Bisani. I'm a make us a media. Me training. Me Christian. Bible say, Angel. Ya obedi wonsano juma ano. You should work. And this is chacha asem the Bible it ya chacha asem. What you say? mimi ntiase no it's also be betting say lottery so omaimu what you say it's also be betting ade bi o ha aban wo ho no so ya no afa ne saa nso bia na on pesa manfo de madwen kusi so kese nti okay sanete dia memfa tuo bi nto so eto no kwa discouraging grofo say mfo adwen sisu saa nti yeton sa o mem say grofo no nsa na aban ni tax ato so say ne be ya wonnom nsa no kese yeton cigarette wo mem cigarette no ebe hawo amoti manya lung cancer na aban na asan bo ho ka aban be so onum cigarette ntini wo be say onum say you're right opa konom emu me de to ato so say ne be ya be discouraging grofo kakra na sa wo ba na wo say o me de cigarette ne wa na opese onum a nti me mfa ho ne me yi to na free so a what are you saying? You are encouraging nipa then to go and smoke. You drink tax if in saswa. We encouraging nipa so bedomonsa. Is it the purpose of John Mahama say oman ye nani chacha e ma intino was be ye fene say tax if betting so ana. Betting enye djuma. Chacha enye djuma. Ebia bibi ntino o me ko try me lock kakra fair. And me se me de me Christo som no enkyere me saa but so also ye Christo ni wo ye muslimini na o giri se de chirosem no kan nyina wo de wo be ya e bia asem bi nti ye ko try e bia na bitia yi luck me I don't believe in luck cry in the first place. I believe in hard work. This will be as a me ko e bi no ka che say obi ka say good luck am ka che ni ba ko say me mpe good luck. I don't depend on luck. Oh, my best wishes. I can't say best wishes to you. And I say to tell me good luck. No, and I don't also tell other people say good luck. And Katie, oh yeah, bibia. Now no ya oh yeah. Someone can say good luck. What I say? My best wishes. So what I say? And bibia mono best regards, best wishes. Na menka good luck. And I say na make na me say John, ni trimu pone say. Obeso be liberalize system na say obi ankotwa obi ankoye chacha adwuma so sanity dia na make say it is a wrong thing
right
mene kwa asore baako
na
assemblies of God the general superintendent ne reverend Wingham make cha say wontu no for say chacha no obeso de one kubu na enye papa
Obeshan so he has been a minority leader, a majority leader, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs. He's a staunch NPP member and he's a leader for the New Patriotic Party. Me say, this kind of elections, Assembly of the will probe the matter. You ask questions, critical questions about the matter. Tama meka NDC for the NPP and Wunyaje. I speak objectivity, honesty, and truthfulness. Or say Chairman Sabonsu. Honorable leader, or say, or more NPP for the reason why all the 10% on sports betting is to discourage the youth from doing betting. Making sure as a Ghana for you to make my year, Juma. No, make my year, Juma. Lazy people more Ghana, no, they have to find something to do. And it's hard here, 10% about the sports betting. You say the Toswa, the ordinary Ghanaian and Yabreno, I so to make sure so bet me a year, Juma. Now take this for me. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, or say he has his own vision into Manifesto anemano. TBM or say he has his own vision into Manifesto anemano. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na no be pemo UPS here. Or Kasano. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says so no be the president. He makes sure that the 10% of sports betting, so no, he will scrap it or the illegal munya keka. TBM Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sano kai. Asama ya papa say Chairman Sabonku saka ene say owe fan John Dramani mama on the kwaso or Assemblies of God. If you look at their doctrine, if you look at their teachings, they doesn't believe and correlate to betting. Just not make a tony. And when your opportunity, omu general secretary, asori general secretary, oba ka chance on John Dramani mama nim komo na John mama person this sports betting say Ghana nkora. Titie. This is honorable Osei Chairman Sabonku. One, if you stay in glass house, you don't throw stones. What I should them I want to work. And I'm going to tell you the reality. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, on no bar 10% on sports betting will be the free home. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so bano, Oba be preach say Ghana from kramo mo nya gambling ana. I want to ask. Because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say he has his own vision. Secondly, Papa Yahoka say he is the chairman of the Manifesto Committee of the New Patriotic Party. Nyanko Poya Aduma Kwasieda, sa manifesto mo kwa lanche no, or say chairman Sabosu is their chairman. And his committees they report to him. The flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party is telling us say 10% of sports bet robo be the few. Papa Nswa catch there say there be sa 10% no mo the few where ma Ghana from krom page man ye. Be ma chacha do so Ghana. Why there ni yemfa? I'm asking a very simple question. The NPP, the NPP is saying this. The chairman of the Manifesto Committee, and the was say chairman Sabon's honorable, was say, or no, chairman of the Manifesto Committee, no. When it comes to bet and gambling and in home, the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party was say, also Bobby 10% in the free. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is he aiding and abetting gambling in Ghana? I want to ask. What you say, chairman Sabon's you say? He is going to report John Dramani Mahama. And the commander sorry penny for his on the car sorry back. And the Camonibia also NDC. Every man report to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the command Camu for say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia paid their doctrine, paid their teachings, betting is haram. Seribia Sasania Bekona. So because of politics, Sania Bekona. And Obibia so also prohibited by the Islam world or Islam community. Was say, and this may catch on what you need. But that's prohibition of gambling in Quran and Hadith. Or say, God, Allah says in Surah Al-Madah, you who believe, wine, gambling, authors, and divine arrows are filth made up of Satan. Therefore, refrain from it, so that you now what the Ekoswa? A child say the Islam, yes, was say for you to have, you may be successful. 590. Now, if you go to the Islam world, now Kobiso must say, what is the meaning sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, which, with accounts of his daily practice, the Sunnah, constitute the major source of guidance for Muslims apart from the Quran? Me say, Udu Kumasia, and Ragadanship, and camouflage the billboard about this, so I must say betting is haram. I must say betting is haram. Sestano say chairman Sabonzu kasi an report to John Dramani Mahama. And fano koma na sorry mpa yufua. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a staunch Muslim. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia believes in the cardinal doctrine and principles of the Islam world. Yeba fe walaji no akome kadonsa ko kambo aba. Eje tumso e kamoni konkro kama. So, I want to ask, Utie some say chairman Sabonzu ka, then it means say John Dramani Mahama is not a credible Christian. John Mahama doesn't believe in the cardinal principles and the doctrines of Christianity. John Mahama is aiding and abetting gambling in Ghana. Quran ewom. So can I also ask? Can I also say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, pedon also de baso 10% in their free sono. He is also aiding and abetting gambling in Ghana. I'm asking a very simple question. Because Utie Papa say Chairman Sabonzu or say betting and nya de papa, gambling nya de papa. And to bakwa report to John Dramani Mahama, and I'm an answering paying for. Times if you stay in glass house, you don't throw stones. Nenti won't throw stones and they say, baby na wo wana woka obi de no. Wo so de no problem wo. Wo so de no problem wo. Because Utie the NPP cry for now, there is inconsistency about the betting tax. Utie the NDC, there is inconsistency. Your mama so bo be free ho, Sami Jamfia kasem foforo, we kasem foforo. Chairman for the Manifesto Committee for the New Patriotic Party, wakasem foforo, the flag bearer, wakasem foforo. Why dear any yemfa? Why dear any yemfa? My catch us at this particular show. Baby, you tell you the reality, you tell you the honest truth. And to be able to be conscientize your mind. Mini problem. If you are with the MPP, if you are with the NDC, me and me say me MPP, but me betna ha. I'm going to do a neutral work. I've been a Tescon communication director. Albert Asumani, Saatwani Ekosku Cape Coast, no, or I am a Tescon president. Ben Nemeti ha. I speak as an ordinary Ghanaian, a Ghana first. Me can no credit achero. Me say 2024 we won me make policy bia keke nya honko. What can you go into it? We ask questions about it. How are you going to achieve it? What are the challenges about the third policy now? Kwamba so be for bit miaye. First dia mo sore anama kabia. Mo jaho. Me, I want to be truthful and I want to be honest. Sa book we makan. Alan book we makan. Na wo kan a yemfa party semonto nchen. The great transformations to the problems. Be a hero for you. And I don't be able to not perform kwasem. Tomorrow I might be a bad person for you because my kind of credit achero. The truth is a bitter pill. No cry. The truth always stand. No cry a year back up o kind of crown hu Adia first so ba kind of credit chain panu locking who them. No more tia asem no aka to because asem nipa yi kan no kra no waka achire me. They know the reality. They know what I'm telling them. So it tells you that this kind of elections, yen nyam obi anka hwesa wo. Wo ye NPP na ba be kan asema. Hu sa asem na wo kan wo wie ne bisa questions abetima kire mu yie. Wo the policy ni program oba wo kire mu yie. Jo mama ni NDC wo kire mu yie. Ene sa no mano. So I tell you. Now Ima mo fa me last video mfa ma me. Mo Brian Champon.
NDC for peo. Amu peo. 2024 abano enya do me win da. Amu winning. Mo go check your record. Amu winning. Na NPP amanya kuono. NPP amanya kuono. Yes, you say you be winning election. NPP. Yes, you say you be winning election. Eti die enim no. Kwai bia so you be winning 2024 amano. You be fa so. You're a political party. Asofo wom, imam fo wom, omobuku sa wom. That dey say you be winning election. Eti akwai bia you be fa so a you be winning election no. You be fa so. He just stood at the corner, and when he was about to take the hotels, he said, and he just said, you will not hand over power to President Mahama. I have a message for him. On the 9th of December, inshallah, if the people vote for Mahama and your MPs, if he's a man, he should not hand over power and sin. We will show him that when iron and iron meet, he will see fire. The people of they say the corrupt man, the corrupt MP for Sisala East, they started bringing back the fertilizer. I say they better do well. But the truth of the matter is that the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, has said that he does not.
And this is Brian Agyapong, this is Malik Basintali. Brian Agyapong for the New Patriotic Party, Malik Basintali for the National Democratic Congress. If you listen to these two comments, Nina is condemnable. These two comments are condemnable. Me pesa me ka asem de kire mo say me nya madwen say pesa me refugee o. Muntie me. Me nya madwen say pesa me refugee. Ena me na abre one wo te atebubu amante odi be 120 years no. Onya na dwen say pesa o refugee. Anytime we go for elections, it's the will of the people that should have to come out. And the will of the people, that's why we go for elections. Ye kwa tobe so bia nkonko kire na dwen. Ndu kwa kire wadwen a se ne se wo kire wadwen pesa me to aba we me pesa me to aba ma we. That is why we call democracy ayadwen kire. Ti ye to aba na wie na do benya 50+1 wa we ni aba na wie. Ba ko say if fire and fire say dey and iron meet, you hear fire. Ba ko say we are not going to hand power to the NDC. Empanyinfo say do odi ahwede ba afi no de once na ba afie. Empanyinfo omo say do odi ahwede ba afie no on de once na ba afie. On 3 continuous times consecutively open nipa baako a this kind of elections yen hane power ma NDC yen hane power ma NDC yen ha all kan look at the timing asam na all can be a lot of Ghanaians registered their displeasure. Elections are here. If you look at the 2020 elections, nipa makum watching a wuye. 8 people in a wuye. A man for catches this kind of elections are here. Message the most critical and dangerous elections that we are going. The NPP want to break the 8. The NDC want to delay the 8. You have a cabinet minister. MPP for year Juma. I would not political podium so much turn the MPP for year the actual Ghana for always. We are not going to have political power. We are not going to have political power. And also free here. Anyway, free. JJ Rawlings or the coup be pressing a trouble about Claviana man for what Jimmy say. It was Golos took over from J. Akufo. J. Akufo and Hande Kama at the man. John Draman Mama Lusu about over 950,000 votes or Jamu More friend and not Akufo-addo. Now some are okay. So be out as some are they don't have any bad intention. But you look at the time and asama okano, the content and the context of the matter. I see a come wasem. Yet ya, your Christian community won't take Christian council won't take or qua a sort of presby. Tio Presbyterian moderator moto matters as some way and won't mean carry. So some now walk a serious. You were MPP form paying for chroma. As some make as a brand. As some now walk an ebia and yagin one and so now walk. Now okay kasa asem wo ya wonya ma problem dia ba and na se dun katia ka kire say omon ko sign peace agreement na anka ni problem asma me kan tie anka MPP and a minister be cabinet minister be and na asam na work no he doesn't know anything in depth knowledge about security anka ni problem but hadia no Brian Agyapong is a security aspect. Brian Agyapong between 2004 to 2006 or koko ye adwuma e wo US of A military. Now me hear documentary be. Go and watch the US military. How they were describing war mako e wo Iraq ni Afghanistan. How people lost their life. For more kasa you feel the pains. Unse and Brian Agyapong military master ebi mu ye tailor, ebi mu ye chef. Minim say dia wan ko war front to da. E bia ko war front. This kind of drum you stop beating it. You not even talk about it. Because Baby then kika kono hwe ma menka samba konfankyere mo then I'll go to the phone lines and then pick the calls hwe already ekoso nyina Brian Agyapong was the minister of state our president in terms of security now we be saying so ye kwato aba bi wo Ayawa so West Wogon ye to aba no before during and after the elections and some may see wo krom ha that is why we necessary security for MPs papa Sam George Mosum. Now the damn akufo-addo so on passing bia. He set up a committee to do investigations about it. Ima fato so. Was say short commission report. Azugu, Brian Agyapong, others were cited for sanctions. That time Brian Agyapong, on an minister as state, our president in terms of security. And me short musa jumana wo ye no na nyefe na nya kono na etang. Because we no ma esisi wo ho a eye ngu asesem na ima for reporter me short de ne buy no what they said about Brian Agyapong I am just MPP for ne to mo nka bibi mfa nkyere no say Brian e bia asem na wo kan wo ni bad intention o but say the wo si ka asem no your premise when afa so wo ka asem no your demeanor your body language your tempo your composure say the wo si ka asem na hu na hwe asem ni ye if you look at a short reporter, they even said, they should even reprimand him. Was say, Brian Agyapong, you reprimand no. Because I don't know name conquering. You've been a minister of state in terms of security. When you say the security won't say here. Ima, Ghana, my near who say, Nyankopong or Jay Yankwan who. Meso kola Cote d'Ivoire, akufo-addo senior secretary, more Baseleka Kesia ho. A hawk issues you. Ima, let's go to countries because of elections. Elections or because of elections. War as you come, how people have lost their lives over there. Young go na me ma me akoso nyantati atebu. E ton no ma wo dwom wo kobe 60 years. Yes into kwasi, me mini passport o. Me mini passport na my passport kwa minister am di kwa kwatwa ticket. Hwe, or say several killed in attack. targeting Somalia election delegates. Somalia aba ye kwa akoto ene de ye to because of normal CC ye ene sa no mano. Look at the kind of people that have lost their lives. Where Somalia is a sovereign state. About to some can say ya ye ke biya no. Wa say 8 killed in Egypt election violence. 8 killed in Egypt election violence. It tells you there's a one dead, at least 25 injured in Comoros. Protest over president's re-election. 18 January 2024. Security officers among the dead following last week's disputed elections. State TV reports as country remains tense. We are not better than them. 14 Burkina soldiers killed in ambush ahead of presidential election. Some of them are breadwinners of their family. Some of them, they are breadwinners of their family. But because of elections, 14 soldiers. If you go to Baby to sell a Cote d'Ivoire, Laurent Gbagbo, and Ouattara, these 2 people were, as almost say, Brian Champo, no be a wire as a minister of state, we should even reprimand him. I'm not saying it. Where you in a short committee report from the buyer, they called them, and they told them, in discharging their duties, or due diligence. You say, the commission that investigated the violence at the mad at Ayawaso West Wagon by election in January 2019. It tells you, so this kind of elections are here con massa. We should not joke with it. I suffer for Adeba Koyame Yan say, oh, I suffer for National Peace Council. I'm not worried. This is your job. National Peace Council. Nobody said some will come once him. I guess NCC. Nobody said some will come once him. Me say Ghana, we are not above 4. Before some phone lines. In 1992, they say a stolen verdict. In 1996, NPP had problems with the elections. 2000 elections. Kona come Mike or okay book no. Was saying NPP bet ma win be but they feel and think say the election was rigged. 2004, you say Jacob Belamti are calling on the election say akufo-addo first Jacob winning elite. 2008, any forcing people to hit the street. Charlotte say you have good intentions. No problem. But it depends on how you say it. It depends on how you talk about it. And it tells you say, Sano mana here when it to be a problem. 1 out of a million is 1 out of a million if you are not there for the one. Mami misasem. Another and I mean hand power for the NDC and I mean yes say by a champion you have a lot of assets in Ghana. Assets wo bebre Ghana. Rock City ni no manoma bebre me and then to kwasi wo krom ha me need dama. And no say me dwane. The things you have labored for. No matter what bread yen no, you make me go at one day. Once who can you've been in the US first before. The US has investment in Ghana. US, or more investment. Anytime there's war, the constitution yemfa nyejuma. Ejo mo mabo Ghana bosia, China and other countries no, they are interested party in Ghana. Okay, kasa ansem we ya. Say Ghana kwa kwa pebosia free other countries then it tells you say na mo kwa na cabinet minister kasa ansem we. Are you ready to do business with you people? I want to ask. Number be 4 lines they say. Ore friend Brian Champon. Does he want to be a person who is in power where there is no peace? Oh, wait, me running the business. Or you want to be in opposition where there is peace? Oh, wait, me running the business. Asem sebe, makabi. 4 lines 0240 550 899 0240 550 899. Also wait, my friend. Now all the about life on 2 TV. Marika catch was a program ready. Yeah, the Fabia. Custom clothing 0597 394 677 0597 394 677 Shashi eho anywhere. First call about so yanko. Hello,
good morning, good evening.
Yes sir, boss.
Your friend you man, if you like to be a question.
Yanko
anamu
Menji mankan.
You see, by a champ as a man, okay. By a champ, I say, NDC winner about 2 minutes, 2 minutes, if you get it wrong. But you have to be very careful because we from the radio so TV so conform be Nigerian and we are let's say there's some of who can't 2 hours I would now we are waste to the good people of this country. But I tell my son, what can say to me and my NDC for? And that's how okay, boy and you so please don't do that. Who can say we are NPP?
You see, sometimes this is a problem I have. Me better na hay, maka NDC asem, maka NPP asem. If the NDC is able to accommodate me and says as some are can in cry, me and Kasame political party can't I criticize them? Can't I criticize? If you belong to a party, none of man can't you criticize your own party? Young lines. So hello.
Yes, sir. I'm contributing to the program.
Yes, sir.
You said that my papa, my baby. But I've been to Liberia, Congo, other countries, Ivory Coast. They will honor. Say Ghana, when you are found to your roof for the best and your papa. In the sense, Gary from Gary Crown, ministers, me judges, Crown, we had more willing a moment carrying cancer on waiting. If you got a phone for some roof, all roof that, all more play war drums, you know, they should be careful. Medasi.
All right, Medasi. Mamen Kasembako. And yet, the individual interest of a personality can never override or overshadow the interest of Ghanaians. I want to be open. What kind of crime I'm for Ntiasi? Did this be conferred to us one who say, Asana walk and too dangerous? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I'm in Showdown, Mahama. Hello.
Me too, pa.
Oh, NPP for mistake. Of a Kosuyo Oduma. I'm in Showdown.
All right, Medasi. Now, UTAB say, and I'm a banner too, so I should come and project the agenda of the new patriotic party. The NPP, they have communicators, they pay them. They have communicators, they pay them. Now, I'm not on the payroll of the NPP. But me NPP, but my time I cannot credit. I don't care how you feel. The truth is a better pill. Yanko, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Majana design.
Nyame adomos way.
Boko, if I tell me I jump on here, our boy, ETA. Utin has some man or canna. Or see, NDP or so for you mean. The old say, you'll be out there as way and obey. I don't have a contact. Last week, you tell where you are now, yes, sir. I see that over home to tell, but try to be an hour. And mother, Miss Ropa is low. Bye-bye.
All right, Medasi, individual, Obia on your opinion. And you know, I see nothing wrong with it. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your friend is JB Bash.
Okay.
Me person back program no suka kra.
Oh, what's okay, sir?
Me pacho program now we know. Me pacho I say bo NPP achi too much. Because who say Brian Champo asema wukai. Enye sa na misledi especially misledi nipa na omotie no. Because Brian Champo say unya fair, yes, we are fair at all. Yes, I will lose listeners because MPP before the door any T next two.
All right, Medasi. For record purposes, I didn't come to please any political party. For record purposes, what see me between the hours of 7:30 ABC this time, Malik Basintali, Nasano Kana, I condemned him. Go and listen to Ore and Friend Brand Champion on 3 occasions. about this particular issue, young handed power. Go and listen to me on 3 occasions. So where they map Boba Kope, me money 3 videos, 3. Go and listen to him. And me hana meteno, I'm doing an independent work. Se nipa ba ko kra tie me, no who asem na me ka no, ebe bo man Ghana. I have no problem. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm a disciple.
Yes, sir.
I am going to very example. We got an meeting in America, then I really require so casa. But when you never get the NDC, I am from home. No. That's an okay. On the NDC, I am from home. You can't make any meetings in Brian Casay. And yet, but you also never say, NDC, I am from home, NDC, I am from home. No, Massa. So to say, because I want to know. I will say, NDC, you am from home. We get one casa. What's a year, Juma? You be today to manage so when we have some decision yet. But this is going to be 1 million from 1 million from Master, Ambassador. Now I say, what the old kind of crazy, we are. Maybe if we are now, we are well killed. Because we are the enemy, you didn't go by a solution about your 80
All right, Medasi. Per your own assessment means that the Papanaka and you have issues with it, which is condemnable. And you condemn. You see, my problem is, why don't you make sure say Asemna Nipane Kano? And my catch will say, I've watched his 3 videos, not just 1, because of time constraints, time purposes. And it be imabo bakope. 3 videos. 3 videos. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Please, I don't know if you can speak up a little bit of English when you are doing your presentation.
Oh, okay.
Because some of us, we don't understand the language that you are speaking.
Okay. I get you. So basically, we have to blend the Twi and the English for you to understand. So production team, then they said, yeah, we have to blend it. Yes, production team. And you know, I know that the calls are coming through, but I want to say something. Ehamiti, utie bia I and an etuni NPP4 station, NPP4 station, and to back come and preach the agenda of the New Patriotic Party. Me yes, journalist for Nibia. Tie, and I want to say it again. Message, me babet na ha. I'm not going to please any political party. And I may catch or say today I might be in your good books. Tomorrow I might be in your bad books. I'll come and sit here and tell you the reality. My catch say the truth is a better pill. Oh no, my man who to me talk. A man who to me talk. Oh, cause I'm a buyer MPP in Kwana make masem. From 7:30 basically by this time, Assembly Makabiano, I bring the NPP and the NDC. The NDC, they are okay with it. They know as my make catch on it is the reality, is the truth. They are not annoying. Franco ye MPP ni. Ti Franco ye MPP ni no. Oni who kwans on one kasane political party bet ma criticize constructively ana. Nan wonder who kopiem US of here. Joe Biden call your call ye debate ye. Democrats ne kwa catch and said there be ye don't call a recipe for disaster. Democrats, including Barack Hussein Obama, who identified me, make him the running mate, eventually becoming the vice president. It is just a MPP ni. Not just the find some the boy between the flag crash say MPP amen to abam famano. Hey, asama na person catch me. If I sit here, I will speak as an ordinary Ghanaian. Me say Ghana first. Ghana first. Who I tell them, you know, so I'm telling the reality. Who say no kre. But there yani say no kran area a pini we poncho. And won't mean kan ho he. A pini a poncho. And won't mean kan ho he. Na some America no. E bia unya documentaries on war. Hebida. Ebia unhunoma asida. Na sanko unhunoma asi abawa. Ankobi krapo e kasa drama o ka war ho asem ene sa no ma betimi war aba. You just keep quiet. No catch any pansa me serew. Say ba ya Ghana betimi afani into mapadi friend no. Sa no na ye nyan ni nyina. All right. Ene di dwuma di ni si. Nyankopon yarma next week be se ahia between the hours of 7:30 equals 9:30 p.m. inside Ghana. Ye the bebro production team no mebo mabaso and those nya technical challenges ba ko mienu miensa bidie but ye di show na ba wie de na chese ye bra kwasi Nyankopon hira agya ndo Emmanuel Kofi Nyankopon sha production team na Nyankopon nya mo kese adondom ya ye bese ehia nyame adoma next week ebia me ka asem bi ehawo eye wo ya me nipa fache the truth is a better pill nyame adoma next week ye bese ehia until then peace shalom yakro bibia